Hey, what's up guys? Everyone on Diary of the Dark? Alright! Today I'm just going to go through some recent DVDs that I've picked up over the last couple of months. Some really cool ones that I want to share with you guys, and some really fun ones as well. I hope everyone's doing okay, and thanks for still being with us. And I hope you're getting ready for Halloween and getting those costumes together for the competition. Alright, so the first DVD you're going to have a look at today is friggin' awesome. Okay, it's called Laid to Rest. As you can see there, it's about this guy basically called Chrome Skull. There's a picture of him on the back there, and that red light on his shoulder is a camera. Basically this guy is awesome. It says a masterpiece of mayhem and carnage. It's got Lena Headey and Thomas Dekker. A gory, wicked, merciless piece of horror cinema. Shock till you drop. If you want blood, you've got it. Kevin Gage, Lena Headey from 300. She's just awesome, isn't she? She does a really good job in this film. Basically, she plays like an American, I don't know, sort of like redneck American. She's not in it that long, surprisingly, for like Lena Headey. But the part that she does play is wicked, and she has like one of the best like kill scenes in the film. It's basically like this guy, Chrome Skull, and he's got a video camera strapped to his shoulder, and it's one of those films that you can see it through the video camera, but you see it through the film cameras as well, which is really cool. And basically he kidnaps girls, and he kidnaps them, and he sort of films them like being kidnapped. He films them when he's got hold of them, and like the things that he does to them and stuff like that. It's really good because it's one of those films that doesn't actually have a rape scene in. You know, I'm getting fed up with watching these modern horrors with like rape scenes in. It's just sometimes just doesn't need to be in the film, you know. So it's got no rape in it, which is great to start off with. His like Chrome Skull is actually like glued to his face, and you can see him like pulling it off and like all this kind of gluey gunk stuff, and you don't get to see his face for it, like his real face underneath, till the end of the film, and you can see him like gluing his chrome mask on. And it's about this girl basically, and she wakes up in a like morgue sort of place, and she wakes up in a coffin, and she's like, you know, what the fuck, why am I in here, sort of thing. And you see a scene with this like old guy who owns the morgue, and she gets out of the coffin, and she's like got total amnesia, can't remember where she is, what's going on, stuff like that. And she goes into the morgue bit, and she tries to make a phone call to the police, but she doesn't know where she is and stuff, and she's just like, I woke up in a box, and there's like dead people and stuff, and she doesn't know who she is, where she is, things like that. And this guy, this old man, tries to unlock the door to get her out and stuff, and she's got like, you know, blood down her face, and then you see Chrome Skull behind him, and there's this amazing kill scene that goes, splits his head, and the old man just like falls and stuff. And it's about her basically escaping from there, and this Chrome Skull like following after her. There's a load of characters that she meets on the way that are just awesome. There's this guy, he finds her in the road, like, you know, running and stuff, and she's covered in blood and everything, so he does the Good Samaritan thing and picks her up and takes her to his house, and that's when you see Lena Headey as his wife, or his girlfriend, his wife, and they sort of take this girl in, and she can't remember who she is and all this sort of stuff. And then it becomes apparent that she's got like a bang at the back of her head. And then it's like Chrome Skull comes and kills Lena Headey, and the whole way of the film is just there, and they go to this other guy's house on the way to like the police department, and he's a total geek, a total nerd, and it's just brilliant. It's quite funny as well. It's got some brilliant features on it, so that's laid to rest. I watched the making of it as well, and it was just awesome. It was brilliant. It came out in 2009. It's got Jonathan Screechin from Quarantine and Sean Whalen from Men in Black, and it's got Richard Lynch as well from Rob Zombie's Halloween. If you can get hold of this, I definitely say go for it. So that's called Laid to Rest. I actually bought a silver skull that looks like Chrome Skulls, but I'm going to do in one of my next projects, one of my next films. This one I'm sure everyone's quite familiar with. It's got Megan Fox in, and this was released 2009 as well, and that's Jennifer's Body. Yeah, Megan Fox looking a bit hot there. So, I mean, Jennifer's Body, it was just brilliant. It's a fun film. You know, it's like the geek and the popular girl and things like that. And obviously, like a band comes in. I can't remember what they're called, but they do the song called Through the Trees. And they play in Devil's Creek, which is the town that they're from. And basically, like, you know, there's Jennifer and her friend, and they end up like they're really crap at describing stuff. The place the band were playing in, there's a fire and everyone sort of burns, and like Jennifer and Needy witnesses to it, and this band just aren't really asked to get into their camper van, and they want one of the girls to come with them, so they ask Jennifer, and Jennifer's like, yeah, sure. She kind of wants this like sort of a hypnosis, and she goes with the band, and Needy's like, no, what are you doing, Jennifer, no, and all this sort of stuff. And then later on, you see Needy at home, and she's obviously like emotional and traumatic and things. You just see a lot of people dying of fire at the bar and everything, and then you sort of see Jennifer like covered in loads of blood, just like caked in blood. It's kind of sexy, and she comes into Needy's house, and it's kind of gross. She pukes up all this black stuff, and it's like you don't know if she's alive, if she's dead, like what's happened, what's, you know, is she turned into like a demon, what is she? And then it's not like apparent until it comes like through the film, and she starts feeding off the flesh of like others, and it's got some wicked kill scenes in that as well. A load of gore, which is fantastic, and some proper cheesy lines. Like at the end, she lures Needy's boyfriend into this like abandoned swimming place, and like Chip and stuff, and she goes to kill Chip, and a Needy turns up, and all the way through she's just been like killing guys and stuff, and it gives her her energy. When she needs to feed, she looks really proper shit like a zombie, and then when she's fed, she's all beautiful and like way, you know, and she feeds off the like guys and stuff. So at the end, when she goes to kill Chip, and then she goes to kill Needy, and Needy's like, I thought you only killed boys, and Megan Fox is like, oh, I swing both ways, baby. I just thought it was the excellent corny fucking line ever. It was brilliant. So that's just like a fun film that I think everybody needs to watch. Yeah. So another fun film that I like is Mega Piranha. It's awesome. I mean, just take a look at some of these guys there, those piranhas. It's funny, it's comical, it's They made Mega Shark versus Giant Octopus as well. I mean, the CGI is shit, but it was a funny film. So this is one not to take seriously. It's just a fun film, sort of film. I love the piranhas. I love the storyline. You know, it's got Sarah Monroe, who was 80s pop star Tiffany, and Paul Logan, who's a special agent and stuff. They said it was safe to go back in the water. They lied. And it's just great. It's like how millions of years ago this bit of a canyon got closed off and there was these species of piranha, and then due to like an earthquake thing, like in these scuba divers going down, the piranha get released, and it's like the summer holidays and things like that. You know, it's just, and then there's like an outbreak of these like massive piranhas that are just eating their way through the town and everything, and then there's like, you know, it's like the whole thing, are they going to get loose into the sea and stuff like that. But that's definitely one to watch. I picked this up recently, I think for like a couple of quid, so it wasn't dear, but it's a really good fun film as well. Along with Piranha, obviously the new one. But yeah, Mega Piranha, it's just great. I like the Piranha, the 80s one as well. That's awesome. So that's just another fun film to get, guys. Just having a look through here. Okay, now this was another fun film for me. Big Tits Zombie. Look at that. Japanese. It's subtitled, and part of it's in 3D as well. You've got the 2D and the 3D version there, and it's about these lesbian strippers on the back. And they work in this club, and they're not prostitutes, but they're lesbian strippers, and yeah, they do get their tits out. And it's how they've got brilliant personality, some crazy fucking Japanese shit going on here. It's a it says 5 bored strippers working in a quiet customer les club stumbled across a secret passageway in their dressing room that leads to the basement and the discovery of the Well of the Dead and the Book of the Dead. They read the incantations from the book out loud and unknowingly unleash the army of the undead on the world. Armed with swords and chainsaws and their kick-ass fighting moves, only they can stop the zombie army now. Based on the popular manga Konyu Dragon Onsen Zombies vs Strippers 5. It was brilliant. It got like this kind of like goth Japanese girl, and she's the one that goes and reads the incantations because she's the only one that can speak Latin. It's brilliant. You got like the mother of the prostitute, well, you know, prostitutes, kind of like dancers and stuff, and she's hilarious. And then suddenly it's like, you know, a bunch of these zombies, like the Book of the Undead have unleashed these zombies, and they're just shit. The effects are shit, so shit that I love it. It's like bad good. Brilliant, like, you know, Night of the Living Dead sort of makeup. The whole green and the white and things like that, and people with bandages and stuff and bits of blood, and it just looks so fake. It's just fucking brilliant. It was definitely a fun film. So yeah, so that's Big Tit Zombie. It's subtitled, like I said, but it is just, it's funny, it's pure good, and that's like the goth chick there. She's pretty hot. So I got that. Another one I got, which is Stephen King and George Romero. I'm sure you guys are knowledgeable about this one, and that's Creepshow 2. So I had Creepshow a while ago. I don't know what I've done with it, but I did have it, and with it being Halloween and that coming up, this was in the pound shop, so I wasn't going to leave it there for a pound, you know what I mean. So Creepshow 2, it's just great. I love the way that it goes from kind of like real life to animation, and the short stories that are told in there. So I'm sure you guys are like familiar with that, and if you're not, why not buy it? Creepshow. and Creepshow 2. Another fun one as well I picked up recently, which was, you know, relatively good price, and that's Elvira. Oh come on, you guys must remember Elvira. 1996. Meet Elvira, the notorious American cult heroine. This wisecracking vamp wishes to open her own show in Las Vegas but needs $50,000. Suddenly her great aunt Maud dies and Elvira goes to a conservative Midwest town to hear the reading of the will. Elvira is disappointed when she learns that she has only inherited a dilapidated house, a poodle and a cookbook. To compound this, she's accused of being a witch. Elvira discovers the evil force in the town and finds out only she has the power to stop his evil plans. It's cool, it's sexy, mistress of the dark, it's fun. Welsh, I think I sent you a copy of this, dude, as well, because I just thought it'd be something right up your street. Like, I know you're into the whole goth sort of thing as well. And if you haven't got Elvira, then it's another fun film that you need to have in your collection. And she does look pretty sexy there in the back. So that's Elvira. Yeah, it's great. Another fun one. These are all like ones I've picked up towards Halloween as well. There's one called The Slaughter. This was £1 as well from the pound shop. It's a total B movie. It's fantastic. It's got some great kill scenes in. Again, it's the whole like you know, effects of The Walking Dead and stuff. It's great. They've just got a load of like crappy effects paint and put it on. But there is some good kill scenes. It's basically like it shows at the beginning there's some like witchcraft and paganism going on in the woods and lots of naked women, and they're obviously doing like an enchantment spell to call up one of the demons, and he sort of see flashes of this quite gross, grotesque kind of woman who's one of the demons, and she like flashes up in the background, so it's like an incantation to bring her back into the world basically. That's her on the front, this demon they want to call forth. And then there's like the Book of the Dead, again, the Book of the Dead that they do the incantations from. But this sort of demon woman like ends up killing them all. I don't think they finished the incantation off properly, so she needs like some more stuff before she can enter the realms of this world. And it's like 60 years later basically, like you find out that a young girl was murdered there, in this like remote sort of house and that, and it was built on the like ancient ceremonial grounds of the pagan, you know, like rituals that were done. And it's a group of like students and this guy that are going in to refurbish the house, and there's a guy that's bought it and he's like, you know, corporal sort of ass, and he's there just smoking his big cigars, you know, being all up his own arse and things. And then there's this goth guy who's just like against everything that stands for like the man and things. He's like anti-corporate and things like that. It's so funny. And basically one by one they start getting like murdered by this demon woman, because they discover the Book of the Dead, and this like goth guy ends up reading some of it out of the incantation and that, so obviously he brings like hell and terror into the house, and none of the people can leave the house because it's got like this spell on it. It's just great. Enough blood and gore to make Leatherface himself happy. I'd agree to that. Yeah, The Slaughter it's called, Welcome Home. I wouldn't pay more than £1 for it, but it's a total B movie and it's really good, it's really funny, and again it's fun. Okay, another one that I've got is The Cottage. If you haven't got this one, seriously, go out and buy it. You have to. It's a brilliant British film. It's about our country life and our weirdos we've got here. It's fantastic. It's basically Oh, I'll show you the back. She's brilliant. She's absolutely fantastic, that actress, and that's part of her head in the bucket. It's just so funny. It's basically about these two guys, these two British guys. One's like a total geek, you know, he's got his glasses on and he's sort of very, you know, well laced, and you wouldn't think he'd break the law and things like that. And then you got like the other guy, it's a bit of stubble, looks like a bit of a ruffian, and they're brothers. And obviously they've plotted, and you find out they've kidnapped this girl there, and she's like the daughter of like a mafia boss and stuff, and they want like X amount of money and things, and this whole like kidnap plan. And it just starts to go slowly wrong, and there's like some Chinese guys in it that were sent to, you know, I don't know, to kill one of them or something. They get mixed up in all this stuff that's going on, and there is like an actual killer that they let loose from one of these farmhouses, so he goes around then like killing everyone. It's just hilarious. It's hilarious, gory, horribly funny, deliciously dark laughs, welcome to the bloody countryside, and it's just great. It's true British humour. There's some fantastic scenes in it, like the guy they let out looks a bit like the guy from Hatchet. They let him out, and it's like it's for local people only and stuff, and these brothers like are just clueless, they don't know what they're doing. Nathan, like, and that, he's just completely hysterical, and the girl, there's this line in it me and Jay always laugh about, because she's like a scouse and that, and there's this scene in it where the killer, like the, you know, hatchet face sort of killer, is chops off a bit of David's foot, and he's after them and that, and she's like, thinks she's hard and everything, and she turns around to David and she's just like, "Run now, you fucking cunt!" And I just love that bit. It's just brilliant. Obviously can't do it to the scouseness that she does, but it's great. And then she gets her head chopped off with a shovel by the killer. It's just brilliant. It's got some classic like lines in it, and if you haven't got it, you need to go and buy it. It's proper British humour. It's a fantastic film. Yeah, so finally, I think finally today I'm going to show you another funny B movie called Simon Says. This again is classic. It's got some great cheesy one-liners in there. It's an American film, and it's about the countryside, and this group of kids want to go camping and stuff like that, and you know, want to make out with each other, and they end up going to a gas station and they want directions for somewhere, and then you meet this guy called Simon, and he's like clearly like a bit retarded, and that kind of freaks them out a little bit and stuff, and they want some gas and some bits and pieces, and he comes up with like these lines that are like puzzle sort of lines and things. You're not quite sure what he's on about, and every now and then you get like a little glimpse of his like psycho side, then it's like back to retard. And there's some like clips of when he was younger with his brother. You get the impression it's his brother, and the proper like hicks and stuff, and he's like gets his brother to like do things, and he goes, "Simon says," like "Simon says," and all the way through it's just like, "Simon says it's time for dinner," and things like this. "I don't know, you better ask Simon. What does Simon say?" And it's great. It's like that nursery rhyme, like Simon says, "Put your hands on your head." So you do, and then if you just go put your hands on the head, and like Simon didn't say that, and it's kind of like got that in it, which is brilliant. And as you can see, there's some great scenes and it's some gruesome deaths. He's just completely warped, fucked up. I won't spoil it too much for you guys. There's a great ending to it. It's just funny. One by one they get kind of like killed as well, but there's like a stoner guy in it. It's just fantastic. I picked this up towards Halloween as well, and it was like a few quid. So it's another fun film. Like all these ones I'm showing you today, basically they didn't cost that much, but they were really fun films to watch. You know, I get a bit sick sometimes of like films that are done just like a little too well, and they get massive write-ups and reviews, but really they're just, you know, taken from other films, or they're just shit. The reviews like speak louder than what the film's actually like, you know. Well, I've got one more which I forgot to mention as well, and that's called Train. Okay, if you can get hold of this, I would highly recommend it. It's got Thora Birch from The Hole and American Beauty in it, and basically it's about like a group of athletics from America, and they're going around the country. I think they're doing like Europe, and they're part of like a wrestling group. There's females and males in it, and they are wrestling obviously like different countries and stuff. I think they've been to Russia, and they had a bit of a fight with some guy in Russia, and they end up going to this like nightclub and getting into a bar fight, and coach is really pissed off. And they missed their train. They needed to catch a train and they missed it because they'd been to this bar the night before. So you see this quite pretty blonde come over, because this coach is getting nowhere with the train people to get these tickets to where they needed to go next for their match. So she comes over and she's like, oh, I can help you. You know, you can get on the train, the day you get on. And he was like, really? You know, how much is that? And she's like, don't worry about it, we sort it out on the train, you know. I can't do the accent very well, sorry. So he's like, brilliant. So they all get onto this train, like all the students, the wrestling students get onto this train. And you're like, okay. And then as the story progresses, like you find out that like each one of them, like one by one, end up getting dragged away and murdered and chopped up into little pieces, and you find out that like they're actually like getting their organs, and it's a whole thing to do with like organ donating and stuff, but obviously against their will. And Thora Birch, I think finally like clicks onto what's going on, and she's like, her boyfriend's gone missing and he's been chopped up and that, and there's other people on the train that you see that have got like broken legs, limbless. There's a little Chinese boy, he's got like no eyes and stuff. It's great. It's like this one guy, he's got beautiful blue eyes, it's Thora Birch's boyfriend, and then later on you see this kid with his eyes and stuff. It's just fucking brilliant. So they're like organ harvesting basically, and doing it to people like for money and stuff like that, and like the border control people are like in on it and stuff like that. So it's just this train of horror, carnage and excellence basically. So if you can get hold of this one, it's part of the Fright Club collection. Get Train because it's absolutely fantastic. So yeah, that's it for DVDs. I'll do another one next week because I've got a lot of catching up to do basically. There's a lot of films I bought sort of recently, and I've gone through my collection. I've sorted out some that I'm giving to charity that I just, you know, don't want in my collection, and I sorted them out into sort of categories, and I've bought some new ones. So I'll do probably another diary update next week with some of the other titles that I've bought. But there's a few there to keep you moist. So I don't know, Google some of them, have a look at the reviews and what you think. You don't just have to go off my word, but you know, I know we've all got different tastes and stuff. But there's some of the B movies. I wouldn't class Train as a B movie though, or Jennifer's Body or The Cottage. Definitely try and get hold of The Cottage because that's awesome. And Train just for the gore and things like that. So there's a few there anyway to get you started. Hope everyone's alright. Thanks for all the input. Yeah, me and Jay are going to work on a new horror video soon. I've just been waiting to get hold of some money because I need some props and stuff for it. We need some new outfits and things like so. And time as well when we can actually like get together, because Jay lives a few miles away from me, so it's not great. But yeah, you know, Jay was in the crud meat detonation video that I did, directed and wrote and put together, and I got Jay to be in it. And since then we've decided we want to do like a sort of mental asylum one with the fucking crazy 1940s doctor and nurse and mental patient and things like that. So I've bought like a load of surgical equipment from eBay. I've bought like some really cool background drops, like load of bloody splatter. This is something that I've never done before with the videos. I normally just dress up into different characters and stuff, and you know, use the camera to different angles and shots and stuff. But I think we're going to make this one into a bit of a sort of short story, I think. We're going to get together and storyboard some ideas. I already got some great ideas to open it with. I'm not sure if it's going to have, like, it will have like a music track underneath, like very quietly, but it might get hold of like some 40s sort of, you know, music and stuff. I'm just researching at the moment into abandoned asylums and hospitals and things like that. I want to get a load of photographs together as well and storyboard it, so I'm working quite hard on this one, so it won't be up for a while. But I just want you guys to know that I haven't given up making my videos, so I am still working on them. I've also recently ordered a new camera so I can get back into my photography as well, so I can start taking some really cool pictures and obviously some horror pictures. So yeah, thanks guys for everyone being here. Keep rocking the world, and I'll see you guys soon. Alright, take care, bye.